Hi, this is James with the WP Ninjas. Whether you're editing the default form styles with the layout and styles extension for Ninja Forms, the field style types, the error styles, or individual field styles, you're presented with some of the same options. And in this video, what I hope to explain is some of the basics of CSS that you might need to know to unleash the power of layout and styling extension for your Ninja Forms. So basically, on any of these options, you're going to get a little meta box, and it's going to have some options in here. These are basically CSS properties that you can style, and we have a few options for you. So we're going to start with some the basics that you'll see in almost everything that you have available. So you can check a background color, and this comes with a really easy slider so that you can dial in the color you want or choose one, or if you're comfortable with hexadecimal color codes, you can actually type in the hex number right here. So it's very easy for you to use. You'll also be presented with things like border width. Now this gets a little more complicated if you're not familiar with CSS, but it's actually still very easy. The border width can accept anywhere from 1 to 4 parameters. Generally they're going to look something like this. So if you wanted to put a 5-pixel border around your, in this case around your entire form, you would just do 5 pixels. And that's all you have to do, and you're done. But if you wanted to do a little more complex, say you wanted to do 5 pixels on the top and bottom, but 10 pixels on the left and right, you could do it like this. Actually, there should be a space here. Just do it like that. What this says is the first number represents your top and bottom border, and the second number represents your left and right. It's always generally going clockwise. So say you wanted to do something extremely strange. You could do 5 pixels for your top border, 10 pixels for your right border. You could do 20 pixels for the bottom border, and then for the left border, you could do 30 pixels. Now you can change that however you'd like. But as you can see, it's fairly versatile. So if you do one number, it's going to do all borders. If you do 2 numbers, the first number will be the top and bottom, and the next number will be the left and right. If you do 3 numbers, the first number will be the top, the second number will be left and right, and the third number will be the bottom. And if you do 4 numbers, it'll be each side respectively starting from the top. So it'll be top, it'll be right, bottom, and then left. Very easy. Generally though, you're going to be using a solid border all the way around for like a container like this, and so you can just use one number. You can choose a border style, so solid, dashed, or dotted, on all these color options. If you want some more options, you can check the Show Advanced CSS Properties box. This will give you a few more options, like font size. For font size, you're going to use an integer, say something like 16, and the type of measurement you want to use, in most cases, pixels. Now, if you're familiar with elastic type, you might use what's called EM. And then you could do something like 1.2 EM. And that would also style your size. There are other options you can use, but these are the two most common. In most cases, for your purposes, you're probably going to use something like 16 pixels. Now, margin and padding work exactly the same way as border width. The difference is margin adds white space outside of the element that you're styling, and padding adds white space inside the element that you're styling. But you can still use the same kind of number system. So 10 pixels would put 10 pixels of white space around the entire container that you are currently styling, the element you are currently styling. 10 pixels, then 20 pixels would put 10 pixels on the top and bottom, and 20 pixels on the left and right, and so on and so forth, just like we did with border width. And the same goes for padding. What really makes us powerful, though, is this advanced CSS. So if you're comfortable with CSS, or you like to experiment and Google different CSS properties, you can actually type them in here just like you would type normal CSS. And the way that looks is, for instance, if we were changing this background color, what we would do is we would go background color, colon, the color that we wanted to apply. In this case, we'll just do a gray, and semicolon. Each line works the same way. So you put in the property padding, a colon to say that you're now moving into the value. So this is the attribute that you're applying, or the styling that you're applying, and then the colon signifies you're now moving on to the value. In this case, 5 pixels. And then semicolon ends the line, and you just hit enter and go to the next line. So now you could actually skip all of these elements if you're very comfortable with CSS, and you can just write your CSS right here, just like you would in your normal style sheets. And it will apply only to this particular element. And that's it. It makes it very powerful. You can do a lot of custom CSS with it. So if you're really good with CSS, you can add anything that you want. But if you're not, we give you a few options that you can style that'll really make your forms sharp and stand out with very little effort on your part. I hope you enjoy, and please check out some of our other videos and documentation on the Layout and Styles extension for Ninja Forms. And I'll be back soon. Thank you.